Oh man, I bring you all back, man, to another episode of King Supreme TV, where we'll be talking about ICE raids and illegal immigration and things of that nature. So tap in for the content. Uh, where you at? Let's get it. Let's go. Why didn't he comply? Right? Well, yeah, man. That's what they always say to us, right? Well, he should have complied, right? You know that. That's the famous thing. Those are the famous words that we always hear. Oh man, he should have just complied. And I don't know, man. We're gonna look into it. We're gonna see what's going on here. Most definitely, we're gonna see what's going on here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. The game is heavy. It's your boy King Supreme, indeed. Now, I've been talking about these ICE raids since 2022, right? 2022. So I'm no grifter. Me being from Los Angeles, California, I'm very familiar with ICE, illegal immigration, and all that stuff, right? It is what it is. Los Angeles has the most illegal immigrants out of any other city in the country. California, the state of California, is number one for illegal immigrants. We have the most. No other state in this country has as many illegal immigrants as California. California tops the damn list. And then number two is Texas, and then number three is Florida. So California, Texas, and Florida got the most illegals. And it's crazy though, man. But yeah, ICE agents in Houston unalived a Mexican. Oh, that's some crazy, that's crazy business right there, right? CB, baby. Crazy business. Shout out to Go Gadget for sliding on through with the love. First thing, I appreciate you, man. All right, man. I appreciate my supporters, man. You guys make this thing a whole lot easier for me to do. And you guys are highly appreciated, man. I appreciate you guys for showing love to the content that I bring. Gotta love the crowd, man. You gotta love them. So hit the like button. Let's have a wonderful. I'd like to do this. Hold on. I ain't trying to do that. Hold on. Nah, that don't look good right there. That's what I'm gonna do. That don't look good. We'll take a ride to the dark side. Take a ride to the dark side. Take a ride to the dark side. Evilness, wickedness, crime is all over the place. In Compton, 4th of July weekend, there was a lot of shootings. People lost their lives. South Central, a few people lost their lives. I think I'll cover that story either later on today or tomorrow. But anyway, man, let's get into the story. I need everybody to hit the like button. It ain't nothing. It is your boy, King Supreme. Tap in for the stream. Now, but yeah, man, I've been covering these ICE raids for a minute. I was one of the main ones in the black sector of YouTube. As far as black media, I was one of the first ones talking about these ICE raids, right? Because me being from Los Angeles, I'm familiar with it. There's a reason they say don't mess with Texas. Yeah, man. Oh, that's crazy. Anyway, hit the like button. Let's get into the story.
Shot and killed an undocumented immigrant from Mexico who allegedly tried to run him over during a traffic stop in Houston. Tonight, multiple agencies are investigating this incident. Now, the shooting happened this morning in Houston's East End, specifically along Canal Street near Wayside Drive. And that's where we find Fox 26's Jillian Hartman and also Karis Belger. But first, let's send it over to Jillian, who just learned some new details about the man killed. Jillian.
That's right. So on scene here, Lulak tells me that the man was on his way to work with his construction crew when the shooting occurred. and they tell me that his family is heartbroken and just in shock over what happened. So here's what we know. We do have some video of the scene. Why don't you take a look at this? So according to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE agents were attending a traffic stop as part of a targeted enforcement operation to arrest an undocumented immigrant. The shooting happened just before 7 a.m. along Canal Street here near Wayside Drive in the east end of Houston. Now, the driver of the vehicle they were trying to pull over was Lorenzo Salgado Arauzo, a Mexican national who was in the U.S. illegally, according to ICE. Now, authorities say during the attempted arrest, Lorenzo tried to get
Man, whatever they got going on in the background sounds terrible. That ain't me, y'all. Hit the like button.
away, and according to ICE officials, he rammed an ICE law enforcement vehicle, refused to follow multiple verbal commands, and weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run over an ICE officer. Officials say the officer then fired his weapon in self-defense. Lorenzo was hit, and emergency services were immediately contacted. He was transported to the hospital where he passed away from his injuries. The Houston Fire Department tells me Lorenzo suffered a gunshot wound to the stomach area. Now, some local leaders have shared their reaction about this shooting, including a Houston council member. Take a listen.
It's deeply concerning to see this action occurring in our city. You know, we've read and seen these things happening elsewhere, but to see it happen in our own backyard is deeply concerning. And I think the most important thing we can do as Houstonians right now is remain calm and, of course, demand a thorough and proper investigation, and demand that if there is any footage or additional information about what occurred, that it be released so the public can take account and evaluate for themselves what occurred. But any use of deadly force is deeply concerning, particularly in an immigration enforcement scenario, and Houstonians deserve the facts to understand what happened to one of their own.
Like we said, multiple agencies are investigating. So right now, the Department of Homeland Security and the Office of Inspector General are leading the investigation in the agent-involved shooting, and the FBI is investigating the potential assault on a federal law enforcement officer. We also learned today that the Greater Houston Coalition into how this tragedy unfolded. And we also spoke with Cesar Espinosa from Fiel. He is calling for similar action as well, specifically because he says this community is shaken now by what has exactly taken place.
The main thing we are asking for is for an independent investigation into what happened, because we cannot even trust the FBI. The FBI is under control of the administration, and we cannot trust them in really holding a non-arbitrary investigation into events that unfolded this morning. So we want a full investigation. We want an independent investigation. And at the end of the day, we want people who are responsible for the murder of Mr. Lorenzo to be held accountable.
Let me say this, man. When you're here illegal, and my thing, man, you can't go to another country acting the way that these illegals do here. Now, they said get out of the car. He didn't comply. They shot him because they said he used his vehicle as a weapon. The same thing that they said about the situation in Mississippi when they unalived the 1-year-old because the female allegedly tried to use the vehicle as a weapon, when we all know that wasn't true. She was just trying to get away. Can that be the same situation here? Amigo was just trying to get away. He wasn't trying to run anybody over. But we all know when the police pull up and they got guns on you and you drive off aggressively, they will fire shots. They will shoot you. That's something that I do know. Now, hit the like button to support the show. Now, how do you guys feel about it? Do you say, oh, man, he's illegal, he's undocumented, he don't have no rights, so he should have just got out of the car? He had no business trying to run away from the police. You're already here illegally, undocumented.
Of the administration, and we cannot trust them in really holding a non-arbitrary investigation into events that unfolded this morning. So we want a full investigation. We want an independent investigation. And at the end of the day, we want people who are responsible for the murder of Mr. Lorenzo to be held accountable.
And community leaders say getting answers is essential, not
not just for Lorenzo's family, but for other people who live here, who call this community home. And as Jillian mentioned, we do anticipate hearing from more local advocates, but also Lorenzo's family, including his son, tomorrow at a press conference in the morning. I'm Kara Spelger for Fox 26 News. Rashi.
And I know you spoke with LULAC saying that they want a transparent, independent investigation. The protesters out there, was there anything specific that they were asking for or what message that they wanted to get across?
They are calling for very similar things. It's really about transparency. In some of the videos we are seeing, there were unmarked vehicles involved. They're saying, how can we be sure that law enforcement is acting in their interest if we can't even identify them when they are in the streets? They also want to make sure that there is due process. Even if someone is undocumented and they're being taken into custody, they want to make sure that those people are being taken through the proper channels with whatever their cases may be. A statement that came out earlier from Lorenzo's son said that his father was seeking legal status. So one of the things they are hoping to push for is more transparency with that process and opportunities for people to be able to advocate for themselves and, of course, go through all of the channels that they should be able to in accordance with the law. Rashi?
All right, Karis, thank you for that live report there. Well, we do know that Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, who represents Houston's Magnolia Park neighborhood, is calling for an independent investigation. In a statement, Garcia said that while ICE has released an initial account, the circumstances surrounding the use of deadly force must be thoroughly reviewed. She says all evidence should be preserved and that the victim's family and the community deserve a full and transparent accounting of what happened. State Representative Cristina Morales is also demanding answers, saying in part, this is not what immigration enforcement should look like. This incident took place just a handful of miles from the FIFA World Cup Fan Fest. Immigration enforcement should never put our communities in danger. People are afraid, and we demand answers and accountability. Morales also urged Congress to pass immigration reform that creates a pathway to legal status.
No, hell no, they don't need to create a pathway to legal status. Get rid of them. Send them back to their country. Listen, Texas has enough Mexicans. There's way too many Mexicans in Texas already. Hell no, don't give them a pathway to citizenship. Texas already look like Mexico in some parts. Cali already look like Mexico in some parts. Hell no, we don't need more. Send them back home. Listen, if you're so proud of Mexico, why not just go back home? You come to America, the United States, you wave these Mexican flags. You're so proud of a place that you don't want to live in. It's crazy. So hell no, they shouldn't give them a path to citizenship as if we ain't got millions of undocumented people from Mexico already.
He was also a man of routine. For the majority of the last 35 years of his life in the United States, he began the day the same way, and coming home, sitting on the porch, eating a hearty meal made by my mother, going to sleep, and doing it all over again the next day.
We begin at 3 with breaking news from the Magnolia Park neighborhood. A man shot in the stomach with ICE agents and federal investigators on scene. Within the last few moments, we've confirmed that man has died. Let's show you where this is happening at the intersection of Canal Street and Highway 90. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry is there working to gather the latest. Bryce, what have you learned?
Andy, federal agents just left Canal Street here in the last 30 minutes or so. They had been on this scene for about 8 hours, as we have just confirmed through an ICE spokesperson that an ICE agent opened fire and killed a Mexican national here on this street just before 7 o'clock this morning. What ICE is telling us this afternoon is that enforcement officers were out here attempting to pull over that Mexican national. He's been identified by ICE as Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. And according to ICE, when they tried to stop him, he refused to stop. ICE says from the information that they are getting, he then used his vehicle in an attempt to ram the ICE officers who were out here. He then did not follow verbal commands, according to ICE. And then that is when, according to ICE, he tried to run over the agents who were out here attempting to pull him over. ICE says that an agent then opened fire. The man Salgado Araujo got rushed to Ben Taub Hospital. According to the Houston Fire Department, we're told that he was taken there with CPR in progress. And then we have just learned from ICE this afternoon that he died there at the hospital. There's still a lot of questions here. We have not seen any video of this incident, but we saw that the FBI Houston's evidence response team came to process this scene. Again, those federal agents have been here for about the last 8 hours today.
A Mexican national means you were born in Mexico. So when you hear them say a Mexican national, that means a Mexican who was born in Mexico. That's all it means. Hit the like button. Let's get back to the content, man. Get the lights up for your boy.
There's still a lot here. We have not seen any video of this incident, but that the FBI Houston's evidence response team came to process this scene. Again, those federal agents have been here for about the last 8 hours today. We have reached out to the mayor's office to get any additional information. Houston police officers were here on the scene also holding the perimeter. We did see a white van that got loaded onto a wrecker as part of this investigation and then hauled away from here this afternoon. A lot of reaction coming in from the community while the police tape was up out here. We did see a lot of those neighbors coming. They had seen on social media what happened, a lot of them upset. My colleague Joy Addison is just down the road here on the other side of where this scene has cleared. She's been speaking with those neighbors throughout the day. Joy, what are they telling you?
Yeah, well, I've been out here trying to speak with neighbors and figure out exactly what happened. What I've been able to piece together so far is that whatever interaction happened between 4 men that were in a van headed to work, picking up someone on this street, happened right over here in front of this business and home right here. Now, I'm told by the stepdaughter of one of the men that was in that vehicle that they stopped to pick up a coworker and that they had suspicions that ICE was behind them. Upon arriving at a home on this street, one of these addresses here behind me, the men had some type of interaction with ICE, and during that interaction, Lorenzo Salgado was shot. Video from our media partner Grizzly's Hood News shows that man lying on the ground screaming. He was later taken to Ben Taub Hospital. Now, when I was able to speak with the stepdaughter of one of the men who was in the car, she said that she and her mother were made aware of what happened due to some social media video that had been floating around TikTok. They saw on that video the co-worker of her stepdad, Mr. Salgado, laying on the ground, bleeding and begging for help. Like I said, that is the same video that was posted by our media partner, Grizzly's Hood News. Now, as you heard my colleague Bryce Newberry say, the man who was shot, his last name is Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, who has now died at the hospital. Montserrat left here with her stepdad after I spoke, she left here looking for her stepdad after I spoke with her earlier. We haven't been able to confirm that he's in custody. What she's been told from a very brief phone call is that he and the 2 other men that were in the car, not the man that was shot, so 3 men were taken into custody, and then the man that was shot was taken to Ben Taub Hospital and later pronounced dead. This is a developing story, and as we get more information, we'll bring it to you right here on KPRC 2 News.
There are growing calls for an independent investigation into a deadly ICE shooting that took place in Houston on Tuesday. The family of the man killed is demanding federal officials release all the evidence associated with the incident. MS Now's Britt Miller has more.
My father was a private man, a man who dedicated his life to work.
A son struggling to hold back his tears.
He did not deserve to be reduced to a headline of Mexican man shot and killed by ICE.
After an ICE agent opened fire on his father, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, killing him. It happened in Houston, Texas Tuesday, as family says Araujo and 3 others headed to work at a construction site. Department of Homeland Security says ICE agents were stopping Araujo's vehicle as part of a targeted enforcement operation when they said the father of 3 weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run over an ICE law enforcement officer. They claim the agent then shot Araujo in self-defense. But federal agents have not provided any evidence to support that claim. Family says Araujo was from Mexico, living in the U.S. for 35 years. They say Araujo was in the process of getting his work permit and knew what to do if stopped by ICE.
Had my father seen an emblem of ICE or an emblem that says anything about law enforcement agency, my father would have complied, he would have stopped, he would have not ran away because he feared for his life.
Videos of the moments after the shooting now surfacing on social media. This one shows a man on the ground in a blood-stained shirt, surrounded by ICE agents. By Wednesday night, hundreds of protesters took to the streets of Houston calling for justice. But local reporters tell us their fight is only matched by their fear, saying targeted ICE operations have become common.
They seem to be targeting people who are driving work vans. Some of them are not going outside. Some of them are avoiding going outside because of what happened to Mr. Araujo, and they're afraid that it could happen to them.
Local leaders are skeptical as the Associated Press reports at least 7 others have died after an encounter with federal immigration officers since President Trump's immigration crackdown began.
Remember Minneapolis? Remember Renee Good? Has ICE learned nothing from that experience? We need to make sure that this does not happen with this incident. That is why no one should be asked to simply believe ICE's version of the story. We need to know why Lorenzo was targeted.
And we've learned DHS is leading this investigation into the agent-involved shooting while the FBI looks into the potential assault of a federal law enforcement officer. But the family and community, they want more, demanding an independent investigation by another agency. Back to you.
Yeah, you know, ICE.
That might make sense.
ICE has been
maybe
caught,
local authorities.
ICE has been caught lying time and time and time again. Lying time and time again. And the only thing that actually proved those lies was video. And right now we don't know, there doesn't appear to be video of the killing.
But DHS takes the investigation every time out of the hands of the state, out of the hands of local authorities. They take the evidence, they take everything.
If you killed somebody locally in Minneapolis, or if you killed somebody on the streets of, whether it's Minneapolis or the streets of Houston, wherever it is, then you need to have local law enforcement investigating the killings that are happening on their hometown streets, and it just hasn't happened.
Someone who might know something about the Department of Homeland Security and some analysis as to what's happening now is Jay Johnson. Jay, your thoughts on this?
DHS these days is a department that I don't recognize anymore. It's apparent to me that the current secretary, Mark Wayne Mullen, is trying to get DHS out of the news, less so, but there's a culture that seems to exist among law enforcement within DHS, ICE specifically, that leads to incidents like this. And I'll go back to what Joe just said. There's a vast difference in an investigation when there's a video versus when there is not a video. We saw tragically what happened to Renee Good and Alex Preddy because there was a video. Too often,
they've been doing this to black folks for forever. So they've been doing this to us forever, man. So it's hard to protest now. I don't want to be insensitive, but at the same time, it's like, damn, man, let's go.
The written report about an incident like this when there's no video is, you know, he resisted arrest or he had a cardiac incident or something along those lines.
Well, they're basically saying, listen, we say so. There's no need for a video because we say so. We shot him. He tried to run us over. End of the story. He was here illegally anyway. That's exactly what they're saying in so many words.
And there does need to be an investigation here. I regret to say that in circumstances like this, an agency cannot investigate itself. Yeah. And there should be an independent investigation for credibility's sake involving both federal and local law enforcement and federal and local prosecutors.
All right, man. Listen, man. Let's Now I want to go down here. Check this out right here. Check this out right here. Oh my God, here we go. Check this out. Ringo, the zesty tether. Right? Let's add you to the queue. We're gonna add this to the queue. And we definitely gonna add this to the queue. We're gonna add this to the queue. All right. Let's get back to it. All right, now let's check this out, man. Let check this out. Check this out. Check this out.
The top story that we need to get to right now, taking us out to Texas Post, coming from Fox 26 Houston. An ICE officer shot and killed a man during a targeted enforcement operation in Houston on Tuesday morning. According to federal officials, this shooting happened just before 7 a.m. near Canal Street and Wayside Drive. Investigators stated that the suspect has been identified as Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. He was a Mexican national in the country illegally. Officials argue that he attempted to evade arrest, rammed into an ICE vehicle, and tried to run over an officer before that agent opened fire. And tonight, a local civil rights group in Houston is offering thousands of dollars for answers as this ICE enforcement shooting.
Now, a local civil rights group, right? How does somebody, like, you're here illegally? What do you mean civil rights? That's crazy. Civil rights are for citizens. Civil rights are not for illegals, undocumented people.
Sparks outrage in Houston's East End. Fox 26 reporter McKenna Earnhardt joining us live from Canal Street. McKenna, where do things stand right now?
Yeah, right now, local community leaders are just pleading with the public to get any dash cam video, any eyewitnesses, any cell phone video, because they say they're not waiting for the federal government to tell them what happened here on Canal Street. The local civil rights group, LULAC, is offering a $5,000 reward for...
Oh, this is LULAC. Oh, come on, LULAC. LULAC, you can do better than this. Civil rights for illegal immigrants. Man, that's just crazy. Take your ass to Mexico as an American and demand civil rights. See what's gonna happen. Take your behind to Mexico as an American citizen and demand civil rights and see what's gonna happen. That's crazy.
Any information telling them more details of what happened here yesterday morning. So the push for video comes as the family spoke today in a press conference saying that Salgado Araujo was a good man. In a statement to Fox 26, an ICE spokesperson claimed the targeted operation turned violent when Salgado attempted to evade arrest, rammed an operational vehicle, and weaponized his van against an officer, promoting that officer to fire in self-defense. But Connor Hagan with the FBI confirmed to me this afternoon that his office is strictly leading an investigation into a potential assault on a federal law enforcement officer. Meantime, the Department of Homeland Security's Office of Inspector General is leading the investigation into the involved shooting. The DA's office released a statement saying although access to key evidence is under federal control, they're investigating what's available to them and will review any information within their reach.
I'm just sickened and disheartened for the loss of a good man, a man who worked 35 years to support his family, a man without a criminal record. It's just devastating news to hear that. We want to make sure that the family is told the truth and that to ensure that this doesn't happen again and that to hold people accountable. That is what we're looking for and that's what we're asking. Yes, that, the two investigations, should happen, but what's more important is for the truth revealed community as possible.
I belong tag And the president of LULAC here in Houston, who is currently in Mexico. And right now, there's a protest that's about to take place at 6:30, and people are just loading the streets right where this happened to Salgado. There's been tears shed, people shouting for change. This has just been rapidly getting more and more crowded out here. Of course, as we learn more, we will continue to update you. In Houston, McKenna Earnhardt, Fox 26 News.
McKenna, thank you so much for reporting. We appreciate it here on Live Now from Fox. And earlier today, we did hear from some family members of the victim. We heard from his son, who said his father was just simply trying to get to work. His son saying that
if you've been here for 30 years and you still don't have papers, it's like, come on, man. So you've been here for over 30 years, impregnating women, dumping anchor babies. Imagine how many anchor babies was created in the last 35 years. This dude been here, he been here illegally, undocumented for 35 plus years. So in his mind, I don't need to get no papers. They ain't gonna do nothing. I've been here long enough. So he didn't make it a priority to get his papers, right? This is why ICE pulled up in the first place, because they knew he was here illegally. Let's go.
his father was a good man. We are going to play out some of that reaction from the family for you right here on Live Now from Fox in a little bit, so be sure to stick around for that. Welcome back into Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Anna Marsick. Turning now to a story that we just brought you a live report on moments ago out of Houston, Texas. This coming from Reuters Legal. There were growing calls on Wednesday for an independent investigation into the fatal shooting of a man in Houston by a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agent, the latest in a string of deadly encounters involving American immigration officers. As we know, the FBI is investigating after a man was shot and killed by an ICE agent in Houston. The family is saying that he was simply traveling to work. We did tell you that we heard some testimony from the son earlier today. We wanted to play out his remarks for you here on Live Now from Fox. Take a listen.
Members of the press, elected officials, especially Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, who spent a couple hours with me at Bentop Hospital. Thank you, friends, for showing up. Family members, former students of mine that I saw in the crowd. Thanks for coming. I have a prepared statement I would like to read to you guys. I am Ronaldo Salgado, the oldest son of Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. I want to tell you about my dad. He was a hard-working family man who never wanted his name to be known by anyone outside of his family. He wanted nothing else in life but to provide for his wife and see his sons become great people. He was also a man of routine. For the majority of the last 35 years of his life in the United States, he began the day the same way and always ended it by coming home, sitting on the porch, eating a hearty meal made by my mother, going to sleep, and doing it all over again the next day. Let me tell you about my father's last day alive, with as much detail as possible because it's vividly replaying in my head over and over again. At 5 a.m., my mom and dad woke up before the rest of the world did. My dad brushed his teeth, he showered. My mom cooked him a huge meal for him to eat that day. At 5:50, my dad got dressed, grabbed his lunch and coffee, hugged and kissed my mom goodbye, slipped on his hat for the day, loaded his lunch, his work boots, his coffee in his work van. He patted our dog on his head goodbye and drove off to pick up his crew for work. At 5 a.m., he should have been picking up the last of his guys before heading to North Houston to finish up construction on some houses. 5 minutes later, unbeknownst to me at 6:55, unbeknownst to all of us, my dad had been shot inside his van near the intersection of Wayside and Canal by ICE agents in unmarked cars. I want to tell you about my day. Around 7 a.m., I was notified by my mom that something bad had happened to my dad. We didn't know what. All we knew is that it was ICE related. At 7:05, 5 minutes after, I left the house, drove all the way up to his work site an hour away to find any evidence of his van. Had he been detained by ICE, he would have wanted the van to be delivered to the work site so that the other workers that were there could finish up the houses and the families could get paid. By 8 a.m., after not finding any evidence, I saw a Facebook post on the Southeast Houston Facebook page about ICE activity on the intersection of Wayside and Canal. It's a place where I've called home. The East End has been our home. I live not too far away from there, so I'm familiar with the area. I didn't think it was him, but I had to make sure. By 8:35 a.m., I arrived in the East End to find Canal Street blocked off. I saw my dad's van, but no sign of him. I frantically called family, friends, loved ones to see if they can find any information. I saw a video posted on Facebook that he had been shot. I recognized him immediately. Not from his appearance, but from his voice, crying for help as he lay on the street, bleeding out. I stayed on site for hours, talking to officers or anyone who can give me any answers. I encountered a representative from LULAC, Conchita Reyes, who got in contact with Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia to confirm that my dad, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, had been taken to Bentop Hospital, but his condition was unknown. With all the hope in the world, I drove to Bentop Hospital, the hospital that I was born in, my brother Lorenzo Jr. was born in, and my youngest was born in. I went to Bentop Hospital and demanded answers, but no one could give them to me. I learned of my father's passing from a news report on social media, not the hospital, not law enforcement. Through a collective effort from local organizations and elected officials, we got answers. My father's death was confirmed. I had to call my mom right away to give her the terrible news of my dad's passing before she had to find out the same way I did. My father was a simple man, a family man, a man of routine. He dedicated his life in the United States to giving his family the American dream. He raised my brothers and I on the idea of education taking us so far in life. So through his hard work and inspiration, he saw me attend the University of Houston and graduate from there. Saw Lorenzo Jr. attend and graduate Tufts University in Boston. And my youngest, who is out of state, who goes to college out of state, who still relied on my father for financial assistance for his tuition. All of us are, all three brothers, all three of his sons, American citizens, his pride and joy, highly educated. After nearly 35 years of working to give us the American dream, he made the choice to begin the process of obtaining his American dream through a work permit. We dotted every I, crossed every T, filled every document, attended every appointment. He was close to obtaining his legal status. My father was a private man, a man who dedicated his life to work. He worked the last 30 years of his life building homes in the Houston suburbs. Part of his dream was to build a house for himself and his family, just like the hundreds he had built for himself over his career. One that he could call home. One that he can call ours, our home. And he did. After he built his own house with his crew, composed of family members and other loved ones. He achieved it. After it was built and up until last weekend, you can find him every evening after work, resting on his porch, listening to music, petting his dog. That's how I want the world to know my father. Not as someone who got shot and killed, but as a family man, a man who understood that good things come to those who put in hard work. I am deeply heartbroken to see that the man who taught me the value of hard work, family values, and education will no longer spend an evening on that porch. I am calling for a full investigation into the events that transpired yesterday, July 7th. He did not deserve to die. He did not
deserve to be reduced. Headline of Mexican man shot and killed by ICE. He deserved to live a quiet life as Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, a husband, a father, and a job creator for dozens of men who also wanted the American dream.
That's right.
I would be doing his memory a disservice if I didn't recognize the other 3 men who were with him, one of which was my uncle. All 3 men were rounded up from them, but I hope that they are able to provide their own statements to prove that my father feared for his life as unmarked cars followed my dad, who only wanted to get back to work and back to us.
Now, if they saying you've been here for 30 plus years and you still haven't got your papers, why would we believe that you're going to get your papers now? Oh man, he was so close to getting his papers. Well, he been here for over 30 years and still haven't got them. Why should we believe that he was going to get them now? I mean, damn. You know how many anchor babies he's created? You know how many anchor babies he's created since he's been here? Several of them. So my thing is this: why does it take a person 30 years to get their papers? Especially if you're going to claim that he was such a hard worker. How come he didn't take some of that money to get his legal papers straight, man? This is crazy.
Thank you all for everything. If you could say a few words in Spanish. Just short. Para los medios de español, mi papá Lorenzo Salgado Araujo fue un hombre humilde, fue un hombre que nomás quería.
From the son there of the victim in this deadly ICE shooting. We wanted to play that out for you right here.
I gotta be real. A lot of people are, and I'm not trying to be insensitive. You know, somebody lost their life here, right? So it is what it is. You know, it's always a tragedy when somebody loses their life. You know, but I gotta be real, man. A lot of people are tired of these illegal Mexicans, man. Like a lot of people are just fed up with it. You know, no one outside the Latino Mexican community really cares, because what they're going to say is, oh, well, he was here illegally anyway. He's a part of the problem. That's exactly how a lot of people are going to look at it. Because guess what? If you took your black behind in Mexico, you think you're going to have civil rights over there? Run from the police in Mexico and see what's going to happen to you. Take your black behind in Mexico and run from the police and see what's going to happen. No one is going to feel sorry for you. Mexicans are not going to feel sorry for you in Mexico if you flee from the police. Now, they're going to say, well, there's no video to prove that. Well, one thing that I do know is when ICE come, Mexicans run. When ICE comes, Mexicans run.
On live now from Fox, and we do have a live shot coming in right now out of the Houston area, as there are protests underway right now following this deadly shooting there in Houston. And just to give you some context, this coming from Homeland Security on July 7th, 2026 at approximately 6:50 a.m. Central Time. Law enforcement.
Let me say this, and I got to be real. Do you think Mexico, if a black man was in Mexico and he ran from the police if a black man was in Mexico, right, and he ran from the police and the police shot him, do you really think Mexicans would care? Or would they say he should have complied? He had no business running. The reality of it is this, man. Nobody would care if Mexican police unalived a black man in Mexico because the black man was running away. You know, I know for a fact Mexicans wouldn't give a damn. I just know this.
Attempted to conduct a vehicle stop as part of a targeted enforcement operation to arrest an illegal alien. The driver of the vehicle, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, an illegal alien from Mexico, attempted to evade arrest. From information we are receiving, he rammed an ICE law enforcement vehicle, refused to follow multiple verbal commands, and weaponized his vehicle in an attempt to run over an ICE law enforcement officer, resulting in our officer firing his weapon in self-defense. The driver was struck and emergency services were immediately contacted. The driver was transported to the hospital where he passed away from his injuries. DHS OIG is leading an investigation into the agent-involved shooting. FBI Houston is leading an investigation into the assault, a federal law enforcement officer. This is a developing. We will update the when more information is available. So that's the latest coming in. And just another live look, they're out as we can see that there is clearly a protest underway there following this ICE Houston shooting. This man was killed near Canal Street and Wayside Drive. So this protest could be happening there in that area. I do want to lift up the audio and just see if we can hear anything as this protest is ongoing there.
Killed in cold blood on the street. It was really hard to see. This area is so proud to be Mexican, Hispanic, and I don't think that this can't happen. This is terrible that this stuff is happening. And I just hope that people see that these are real families that are being affected by everything. That's all I got.
How long have you lived in the East End here?
I'm sorry?
How long have you lived in the East End here?
My grandma moved here in the 1920s. She owns her house and she's so proud to live here, and she's scared to come here now. Like, we don't know if we can be here.
I've heard that from a lot of community members that they're scared, and they're scared to come outside. Did this heighten that fear, this incident?
I think it heightened the fear, but also heightened the people wanting to do something about it, because it's in our neighborhood now. Like, we've seen it everywhere, but now it's here. So yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Obviously, emotions are just very high. A lot of people have said that.
You see how they taking a page out of our book. No justice, no peace, huh? Let's check this out. No justice, no peace. We know where they got that from. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that this can't happen. This is terrible that this stuff is happening. And I just hope that people see that these are real families that are being affected by everything. That's all I got.
How long have you lived in the East End here?
I'm sorry?
How long have you lived in the East End here?
My grandma moved here in the 1920s. She owns her house and she's so proud to live here, and she's scared to come here now. Like, we don't know if we can be here.
I've heard that from a lot of community members that they're scared, and they're scared to come outside. Did this heighten that fear, this incident?
I think it heightened the fear, heightened the people wanting to do something about it, because it's in our neighborhood now. Like, we've seen it everywhere, but now it's here. So yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Obviously, emotions are just very high. A lot of people have said that this happening in Houston just hits at a different level for them now. I mean, this is one of the oldest Mexican-American communities in Houston. And right now they're chanting that no one is illegal, and they're begging for answers. Like I touched on earlier, the civil rights group LULAC, they are offering a $5,000 reward for anyone that can help paint a clearer picture of exactly what happened here on Canal Street. Back to you.
All right, so we were able to catch that live interview and live report there out of Houston as those protests are currently underway. We'll continue to bring you any updates as we learn more, but just taking one more live look out there, you can see clearly a lot of emotion in that interview that we saw, and a lot of people gathered there. Any updates as we get those?
It was also routine. For the majority of the last 35 years of his life in the United States, he began the day the same way, and always ended it by coming home, sitting on the porch, eating a hearty meal made by my mother, going to sleep, and doing it all over again the next day. Let me tell you about my father's last day alive.
I need everybody that's watching. If you're really rocking with the content, hit the like button. YouTube has knocked us out of the algorithm, so I'm going to need you guys' help into getting back in that algorithm. Bless the like button if you haven't already. Let's go.
As much detail as possible, because it's vividly replaying in my head over and over again. At 5 a.m., my mom and dad woke up before the rest of the world did. My dad brushed his teeth, he showered. My mom cooked him a huge meal for him to eat that day. At 5 my dad got dressed.
All I'm saying is this. If you run from the police in Mexico as a black man, and they shoot you, Mexicans ain't gonna feel sorry for you. They're just not. Not at all. No sympathy from them. You know what I'm saying?
Grabbed his lunch and coffee, hugged and kissed my mom goodbye, slipped on his hat for the day, loaded his lunch, his work boots, his coffee in his work van. He patted our dog on his head goodbye and drove off to pick up his crew for work. At 6:45 a.m., he should have been picking up the last of his guys before heading to North Houston to finish up construction on some houses. 5 minutes later, unbeknownst to me at 6:55, unbeknownst to all of us, my dad had been shot inside his van near the intersection of Wayside and Canal by ICE agents in unmarked cars. I want to tell you about my day. Around 7 a.m., I was notified by my mom that something bad had happened to my dad. We didn't know what. All we knew is that it was ICE related. At 7:05, 5 minutes after, I left the house, drove all the way up to his work site an hour away.
I agree. Waving a Mexican flag should be a deportable offense. I've seen Mexicans waving Mexican flags on 4th of July. That was very disrespectful. You're over here in America, the United States of America, that is, and you're waving a Mexican flag on American Independence Day. How disrespectful is that? I've seen Mexicans waving those flags on July 4th. Crazy that they can get away with that. Clearly, that's disrespect. You're going to wave a Mexican flag on the 4th of July.
Any evidence of his van. Had he been detained by ICE, he would have wanted the van to be delivered to the work site so that the other workers that were there could finish up the houses and the families could get paid. By 8 after not finding any evidence, I saw a Facebook post on the Southeast Houston Facebook page about ICE activity on the intersection of Wayside Canal. It's a place where I've called home. The East End has been our home. I live not too far away from there, so I'm familiar with the area. I didn't think it was him, but I had to make sure. By 8:35 a.m., I arrived in the East End to find Canal Street blocked off. I saw my dad's van, but no sign of him. I frantically called friends, any information. I saw a video posted on Facebook. I recognized him immediately. Not from his appearance, but from his voice, crying for help as he lay on the street, bleeding out. I stayed on site for hours, talking to officers or anyone who can give me any answers. I encountered a representative from LULAC, Conchita Reyes, who got in contact with Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia to confirm that my dad, Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, had been taken to Bentop Hospital, but his condition was unknown. With all the hope in the world, I drove to Bentop Hospital, the hospital that I was born in, my brother Lorenzo Jr. was born in, and my youngest was born in. I went to Bentop Hospital and demanded answers, but no one could give them to me. I learned of my father's passing from a news report on social media, not the hospital.
Okay, I showed you guys this part right here. So this is what we're gonna do. Check this out right here. Check this out right here. This right here is a Mexican protest, man. Hit the like button for your boy for this one. They out there protesting, man. Arriba. Arriba. They out there and protesting over this. Oh, them Mexicans gonna raise hell about this in Houston, man. No one is illegal. I want y'all to hear that again. She said, power to the people. Now, come on, man. Are y'all really just going to steal everything we do? Power to the people. No one is illegal. Wow. You see how they say no one is illegal? What does Mexico do? Deport people left and right. Go to Mexico and say ain't nobody illegal. Go to Mexico and say no one is illegal. Man, them police gonna whoop your feet, boy. They gonna whoop your feet and bust you upside your dome. I dare you to go to Mexico and say no one is illegal. We have the right to be here. Man, please, you wouldn't dare do it. Let's fight for immigrant rights. Go to Mexico and march in the street and fight for immigrant rights. I think you know better. I mean, they do some of the most craziest things and said, power to the people, for one. That's FBA all day. Quit stealing our talking points. Power to the people. No one is illegal. The hell they ain't. No. Houston needs ICE. ICE needs to stay in Houston. It's way too many illegals out there, just like California. I better not see no FBA people out there. We better not see no FBA people out there. This right here has something to do with illegal immigrants. FBA, please stay out of this. You ain't got no business marching for that. They got plenty of damn illegals and anchor babies to do the marching for this. I'm just saying. Ain't no justice for Rodney Dangerfield going on here. you there go. I don't know. She FBA now. That's a black woman and that's a black man. Now, I told you, you're gonna see some black folks out there because I've seen some black folks out there in Houston marching with them Mexicans. Now, some of you gonna say, "Man, those are tethers, Red." Hey, you might be right, but then again, you might be wrong. Those could be some FBA people because you got some FBA people who rock with Mexicans, right? So I don't want to hear that, Red man. No, those tether. That woman right there, she's a tether. Him right there with the drip, man, that's a tether, Red. Yeah. They gonna say, "No, man, she a tether." That black woman right there, no, Red, that's a tether, man. That ain't no FBA, man. That's a tether. There go the brother right there. Now I know they gonna say he's a tether. It's possible, but you never know. Hey, look at all these Mexican flags, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like, you're demanding justice in Houston while waving Mexican flags. Waving a flag from a country that you don't want to be in. Make it make sense. I want America to give me justice. I want Texas and Houston to give us justice, but we're gonna wave this Mexican flag at the same time. You don't say the ICE agents are murderers. So is the Mexican cartel. So is the Serranos and Southsiders and the Mexican drug cartel. They're murderers as well. You want to make it seem like it's just ICE are murderers, and so is the cartel in Mexico. So is the Serranos. So is the Cholos. I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I would love to see Mexicans protest in Mexico to make Mexico a better place. Go protest in Mexico. You want to demand justice in Houston while waving around Mexican flags? That's crazy. Your loyalty is to a whole nother country, but then you're demanding that Houston gives you justice. Man, if you see all those Mexican flags out there, it is ridiculous. America, give me justice, but I'm gonna wave this Mexican flag in your face at the same time. Make it make sense. Now look at it like this. Clearly, I mean clearly, their loyalty is to Mexico, but they're demanding justice in Houston. And the man who was unalive was a Mexican national. What is a Mexican national, Red? That means someone that was born in Mexico. But you want to demand justice in Houston while showing your loyalty to Mexico. You know, they need to put a stop to this. You've allowed this nonsense to go on for way too long. waving a foreign flag in America while demanding justice at the same time for somebody who broke the law to come here illegally. Look at them Mexican flags. Look. Look at all this Mexican stuff. Mexican flags don't want to live in Mexico. Demanding justice in our country. Crossing the border illegally. I'm telling you guys, on the 4th of July, I seen Mexicans waving around Mexican flags on the 4th of July. Now, imagine if you went to Mexico, right, on Mexico Independence Day in Mexico and waved around an American flag. See what the Mexican police gonna do to you. They're gonna turn your ass into a burrito. They're gonna dip you in some hot sauce and roll your ass up in the tortilla and turn you into a damn Mexican burrito, coming over there waving some American flag in Mexico. Man, hell no, the Mexican authorities ain't gonna deal with that. I seen plenty of Mexicans on July 4th waving around the Mexican flags. Yeah, it was crazy. Your loyalty is to another country. You need to go back over there. That is hella disrespectful. I'm going to wave this Mexican flag on 4th of July, America's Independence Day. The Independence Day of the United States of America. You going to wave a Mexican flag on the 4th of July? Man, I'm telling you. Ice out of Houston, power to the people. No one is illegal. Power to the people. No one is illegal. Power to the people. No one is illegal. Man, please. Then they want to steal our talking points. Power to the people, man. Like, come on. Can you come up with your own catchphrases? Can you come up with your own words? Power to the people. No one is illegal. My thing is this, like, if you go, man, let's go. Let's go to the next clip real quick. I need you guys to hit the like man button. Who want to pull up to talk? If somebody want to pull up and talk, just let me know, man. Let's see what Isaiah had to say, because this is a Texas-based show. So let's see what they had to say.
Say a factor on. And thank you for joining us tonight. Lorenzo Salgado Aroja's son speaking out today. A Houston community is demanding answers after Arojo was shot and killed by an ICE agent in the East End at a protest this evening. Local leaders join Arojo's family. ICE claims they fired in self-defense after he tried to run over an agent, but his family rejects the narrative, saying he had no criminal record and was just terrified by unmarked police vehicles as he was headed to work. This case has sparked a lot of conversation today, and we want to hear from you. Text us at 713-581-9914. Today, I spoke with LULAC's chief executive.
This right here is the home of Ashley Gonzalez. Ashley Gonzalez is from Houston, Texas. The Mexican woman who said all these N-words, said use the N-word with a hard ER. She used the N-word with a hard ER over 50 times in a 5-minute video. She's from Houston, Texas.
Officer Juan Proyan about the developing situation.
In Texas, there is no support for an independent investigation. So we are going to press publicly that this happens. We launched a petition. We have over 50,000 people, Isaiah, that have signed this petition in the last 12 hours.
Wow, incredible. And when you talk about Mr. Arojo's family, have you had a chance to meet with them while you were in Houston? And what are they saying? Obviously, they're devastated. They've lost their provider in the family. They said he was simply going to work, picking up some of his employees, and now he's gone.
Yes, that's right. So I had the opportunity to spend all day with Ronaldo Salgado and Lorenzo Jr. These are, very mature, very accomplished individuals. Lorenzo raised 3 sons. He's sent them through college. They are in a crack. He is a small business owner with no criminal record, no warrants for his arrest at all whatsoever. He was picking up his employees for the day to go work at a construction site in New Caney. And he's been in this country for over 35 years, Isaiah. 35 years with 3 U.S.-born citizen children. And so if this is what this administration is saying, that they're going after hardened criminals, it is not true. It is not true. And what we have seen is an overreach, excessive enforcement, and yet another murder on the hands of DHS and ICE.
When you hear individuals here in this country, they take and examine what you've just said about Mr. Arojo and his accomplishments, being a tax-paying citizen.
I'm going to bring you up in 2 minutes, Big E. Shout out to Big E for pulling up. Big E going to drop some heat. So 2 more minutes, and we're going to give our commentary.
Not legal, but tax-paying here in this country, carrying his weight, and that still doesn't matter to those individuals out there. And they simply say, well, he shouldn't have been here. He's illegal. What do you say to people like that who see life as in black and white? Either you're right or you're wrong.
He was on the pathway to citizenship, Isaiah. He was months away. Months away.
He been here for over 30 years. Now you want us to believe that he's on a path to citizenship? Man, oh my! He was on a path to citizenship.
Either you're right or you're wrong.
He was on the pathway to citizenship, Isaiah. He was months away. Months away. He had a lawyer. They had been working on this for years. for years. But you're right. It's very sad. What happened yesterday was multifold. Number one, ICE agents were canvassing in a predominantly Latino community, 97% Latino community. Okay, number one. He was racial. Okay, they were looking for dark-skinned, brown-skinned Latino men.
That's not racial profiling. If I'm coming to a Latino community to deport illegals, well, I'm picking my target. He was illegal. How you say is racially profiling when clearly he's here illegally? That's ICE's job to deport illegals.
There was no warrant out for his arrest. He wasn't speeding, right? This is a construction zone. The asphalt was being lifted. There were cones in the street that were limiting the flow of traffic. And he was targeted because he was Hispanic and his civil rights were violated. And it's very sad because, you know.
Wow, his civil rights were violated. He's in this country illegally, and you got the nerve to talk about his civil rights? Listen, man, I don't never celebrate nobody's death, but it's crazy when you talk about somebody that's illegal and you got the nerve to say their civil rights as an illegal immigrant. Man, that's crazy.
He may have been undocumented, but he was on a pathway to citizenship, and he was on a path Hispanic, and his civil rights were violated. And it's very sad because, you know, he may have been undocumented, but he was on a pathway to citizenship, and his civil rights and his due process were violated.
And one, when you see,
man, I'm gonna bring up Big E. Hey, Big E, what you got to say about that, man? Oh my God.
Man, what it do, Red? What it do, chat? Nah, see, I'm looking at this different, Red. See, they really mad because they being rejected. I mean, we do have to go back, Red. They went to court to fight to be white, bro. They was getting away with all of this illegal activity because they was in bed with the Democrats. Now that the real white people, quote unquote, then took over, they saying, no, all y'all got to go. And they mad because it's like, well, wait a minute. We don't like the Mayate. See, they thought that their racism was going to be their passage. You see what I'm saying? It's like they never considered that they look at them the same way as they do us. You see what I'm saying? But again, I really don't know why they crying. I'm looking at it different. Y'all was able to come over here for 4 to 5 decades. Okay, y'all was able to accumulate things that you throw in our faces on a daily basis, right? So it's not like you got over here and was treated unfairly to now today claim to be oppressed. No, you were not oppressed. You were living better over here than you ever could where you came from. That's why you came over here. Now they told you you got to go home. That's all they told you. Don't nobody want to hear nothing about no rights. You was violating for the last however long you was over here and didn't take care of your business. You know, you cannot want to go to court and team up with the people who you claim that oppressed you. Those same people let you over here illegally obtain illegal IDs, illegal social security numbers, illegal CDLs. You know what I'm saying? Companies was getting bank off of y'all. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like y'all came over here and stayed at the bottom of the food chain. See, they called themselves elevating you over us. And y'all head got big. So then when Trump got in office, once again, you all helped put him there. You know, for some reason, everybody, especially the black people that's caping for him, why are you talking about the black men and women that did vote for Trump? The people that's crying voted for them en masse. They voted for this en masse. What it was they never thought their white daddy was going to turn on them. That's the whole issue right there. They thought that their white daddy was going to kick us out of the United States. See, and what they don't get, Red, like we seen the videos that Sonny and all them made, but we already know about them. It's the people that's in the comments. hundreds of thousands of racist comments. You get what I'm saying? Then they turn around and wonder why we don't care what go on with them with the government. We see that. They used to come spam your chat. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when we point out all of their racism and what they have done to us and how they specifically march and do everything against us politically. Now they got the nerve to be sitting up here crying. No, bro, ain't nobody trying to hear that. That white man was treating you way better than he was treating us. Y'all didn't get nothing out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Y'all always keep hollering how hard y'all work, but if you from Los Angeles, if you from anywhere in California, when you drive past any county building on any given morning, I guarantee you it's about 75% Latinos in there. Okay, I don't understand how you keep saying that our women and stuff is always on the county. When you pass by any county facility, you see the majority of them in there. You go to a county hospital, you see the majority of them in there. You go to a county anything, you see the majority of them in there. When you look at the Section 8 and the public housing, you see the majority of them in there and on that. You know what I'm saying? So don't tell me how hard you working when the majority of you are on welfare. You know what I'm saying? You have EBT cards. You don't think we know what you are on? Even the men, they have EBT cards too. If you gotta be illegal, what else do you think you have? You get what I'm saying? Selling flowers and oranges on the side of the freeway ain't working hard. That's a hustle. You hustling. That's not working hard. Working hard is establishing your citizenship and your immigration status. So instead of y'all saying, oh, well, you know what? The ride's over. Y'all sitting up here talking about y'all was oppressed and y'all was coming over here getting free housing and free everything. I have never heard of any oppressor giving the people that he's oppressing free anything. You was able to get business loans. You was able to get home loans. You was able to get auto loans. You were getting free school. You were getting free health. You were getting free dental. Okay, what are you talking about? You're being oppressed. Even right now, this same government said we'll even give you some money to self-deport. And you still crying. You know what I'm saying? And all them old talking points y'all had to shut up with all of that. Oh, y'all are going to be next. Oh, they're going to be going at, yeah, shut up. We went on and killed all of that. And guess what, Red? I've been seeing these videos, all these Haitians mad at us. I swear, bruh, all of these groups act like we had something to do with the deportation order. They are more mad at us because we told them to handle your business than the people that they voted for. And you really can't be mad at that because the man told you he was going to get rid of specifically y'all. He said it. This wasn't no surprise to nobody but y'all. And it shouldn't have been because you voted for him en masse. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you voted for him. I'm going to be 100. I'm glad you did. And guess what? Y'all mad at us because we don't even have to lift a finger. All we did was be quiet, left y'all alone. For the people that didn't vote for Trump, they sat on the couch. You know what I'm saying? We said, okay, you know what? We cooled on you Asians. Now look at what they doing. They want to try to burn them businesses and blame us so they can get the insurance. You know what I'm saying? They online trying to fake like they black-owned businesses. Well, wait a minute. I thought we were so unimportant. Like, what are you screaming for us for? You get what I'm saying? Everybody keep hollering this solidarity, but when you eating, you don't get, it ain't no solidarity as long as you was eating good. You know what I'm saying? See, y'all don't know how to spread the wealth. Now you want us to put ourselves on the line for you, and we said no. Oh, that's hatred. No, it's not hatred. Everything that y'all practice politically, We're doing the same thing now. So if it was good for you, why is it not good for us? If Donald Trump, who you voted for, say you got to go, then what are you mad at us for? We seen the videos of Haiti. Y'all got the crap and piss outside. You can't go to Fatburger no more. You can't go to Louisiana no more. You know what I'm saying? You can't go get you a quarter pounder with cheese no more. You know what I'm saying? But instead of y'all sitting up here hollering about how much you built up America and you scared to go home, show us how to build it up. Since we don't have no culture and since we don't know nothing, since you were back where you at and it's all your people that's predominantly over there, why don't you show up in the next 5 to 10 years, you ought to have vibranium over there, right? In the next 5 to 10 years, the Avengers should be coming to your country, right? I mean, like real talk, like let's cut the crap. We see what's going on. You can't be mad at us for telling you how much you need us and we don't need you. That's why y'all scared to go home right now. Even old girl Red, you remember they on videos talking about dirty black Americans, right? We don't have no culture, all of this, all of that. And look at everything they touch in this bomb. And look at Essence Fest. Essence Fest, the bomb. Ain't nobody fooling with it no more. You know what I'm saying? So see, this is what happens when you disrespect the people you need. Look at the Asians. Y'all wanted to be white, but I don't care what state you are in. White people ain't in Asian businesses. To all the people that go or used to go in Chinese food restaurants, tell the truth. How many white people did you used to see in them? If it's not no high end, like no PF Chang's and nothing like that, you don't see white people in those restaurants. You don't even see Latinos in mass in those restaurants. You see black people in mass in those restaurants. And some of this is our fault because they did not just start disrespecting us. They've been disrespecting us, bruh. This goes all the way back to Tasha Harlins, bruh. They've been disrespecting us and shooting at us. And bruh, during the damn Rodney King riots, they were shooting at us, bruh. A lot of y'all are probably too young to remember that, but Red, don't you remember they was on them roofs of them SWAT meets busting on us?
Yeah.
Bro, we was having shootouts with them. This didn't just start. Everybody disrespects you. And they do it because guess what you gonna do? Go right back to them. You would rather go do business with the people that literally gives you the middle finger and shoots your youth in the back rather than try to establish something with your brother. You criticize black businesses, you know, the service, the this, the that, the third. Well, did anybody in any black businesses shoot your teenage son in the back and get off from doing it? Huh? Do they treat your kids like criminals every time you walk in there? Now, you see, everybody was mad at black people for being on code about Carmelo, but you see what happened with Nolan and all of them white people is on code. That boy just come up unalive. Don't nobody know nothing, but they mad at somebody over there did it, but ain't nobody saying nothing, but they was mad at us about Carmelo. And he's probably getting ready to get a new trial because you seeing all the corruption that happened with his. You know what I'm saying? Y'all deserve all this because y'all even let Kaysen get away with shanking one of your own and you had nothing to say. Y'all was more worried about Carmelo than the fact that the people who you want to be with took one of your own. The people who you want to be like are the same people that's telling you to get out. And yet everybody still has vitriol for us. Are y'all that brainwashed? For real? Y'all are that brainwashed. And yet you need us because you know speaking from a point of the law, you have no traction. Like old boy talking about civil rights, you have no civil rights. You just talking. You just using words and hoping that black people will take up the cause, but see, you burnt them out. There is no more Jasmine Crockett. There is no more Al Green. And again, I keep telling y'all, that's y'all fault for giving them people your power, because you don't hear that one of them fighting for Carmelo. You don't hear nothing. You don't hear one of them speaking up for the things that's been going on. Black youth have been getting hung, been getting shot, everything else, but they worried about illegals. Once again, you Democratic Negroes, that's what you created. Because they so used to you Democratic Negroes being so stupid by voting for people, and the only thing you get is an I voted sticker. You know what I'm saying? So y'all vote for all the people that give everybody else your rights. Rick Child and them, y'all wanted Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris gave them a hate crime bill, and he used that to kill Cyrus, to unalive Cyrus rather. And then them same Asian people had the nerve to make videos mad at us because we mad at them, the 14-year-old. In the most cowardly way ever, by shooting him in the back. A 14-year-old. Now, these people have declared war on the youth. They always have. You know what I'm saying? This goes back to Emmett Till. Yusef Hawkins, I think, was the teenager when they unalived Yusef Hawkins. You know what I'm saying? And the people in Texas mad at Carmelo, everybody keep forgetting. That's the same state, Red, that drugged that black man till it wasn't nothing but his head left. You know what I'm saying? Texas has always been a notorious racist state. Always, bruh. I mean, real talk. Y'all don't see what's going on out here? They had people like Chud, but you see the government and all them is shutting all them down. You see Chud is facing real time. Jake Lang, the only reason I think that he didn't catch one or two of them is because there was so many cameras out there. But you see what time it is, bro. They're coming to your spaces. They coming to where you at. And yet y'all still don't want to get on code with your people. You see what they doing. Nolan come up dead. He wasn't nothing but surrounded by nothing but white folks. But who said anything? Where's anybody at? Where's anybody at? Y'all just don't see we at war. Like, dude, we prisoners of war, bruh. Y'all don't get it. These white folks are still dealing by the old laws. They just have to be covert with it. They have to catch you slipping. See, back in the days, they was able to just walk into your house. They can't do that. They scope out these schools and they catch the kid that walk home by himself or herself. That's the ones that they going after. You know what I'm saying? But no, what are we doing? Look at what just happened in Compton over the 4th of July. Everybody outside, but didn't have enough to see that, bro. You got to watch. You got to watch these blocks. You got to watch who, you know what I'm saying? There was some essays that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look, I mean, bro, y'all, oh my goodness.
It was
I swear
Biggie,
we still
Biggie, I didn't know. Hey, Biggie, I didn't know. So it was some essays that did that on Compton.
Yeah, with one of them shooters for sure. But my whole point being is how y'all outside, this mamas, babies, grandmamas out there to watch this show, and everybody outside, everybody gangster, but then nobody had no lookout, so stuff like this don't happen. Everybody be claiming to be outside, everybody strapped, got switches, but people could just come to your neighborhoods and do this. Everybody snitching today. Why ain't nobody snitching on who doing this? Niggas ain't tired of this yet. Like, bro, we fighting battles to the righteous black people, the men and women. We fighting battles against tethers. We fighting battles against the white man, which will never stop. And apparently fighting battles against our own will never stop. If we could stop fighting our own, you see how, look, man, if y'all don't get how strong we are to where we got every nationality of people trying to jump on us, we ain't did nothing to these people. But you name the race, they got a problem with black people. I don't care what it is. I don't care who they are, name them. Every day y'all see the videos. All we got to do is say we ain't spending money with you no more. Now all of a sudden this national outcry. And you know, you brothers is making us look bad because y'all crashing out on yourselves and you see the people that's attacking you. Like, you know, Red, I ain't trying to start nothing, but you remember them brothers that went and filmed that video, them essays jumped out, man, F Compton. They was ready to ride. Nobody said nothing. You know what I'm saying? But if that had been somebody black that said something about your hood, you ready to go shoot up the whole block for that? Remember when the Main Streets and the Hoovers was doing all that battling? Y'all broad daylight go to a strip mall. Shot at about 5, 6, 7 cats. But then these other people could chase down your 14-year-old peoples, your future. They can chase down your future and shoot it in the back. Now you want to sit up and holler about Trump. Why are you crying to Trump? Most of y'all didn't vote for him. What are you crying to him for? This is what I'm saying. If you're a righteous black person, you are literally fighting the world, bro. Even the people that's claiming to be your friends. Again, you are an individual, anecdotal type deal. Politically, your people do not move with us. Period. Period. You support the law. See, everybody keeps talking about us, but these immigrants don't understand. Okay, all the laws that you support that favor them is going to affect you more than it affects us. Red, how long have we been getting racially profiled? That is nothing new, right? We do not care, do we? How long have we been unjustly, illegally getting pulled over? How long has that been happening? Is this anything new? So that's why they're trying to use those talking points, hoping that it'll trigger us. Oh, his civil rights were violated. Oh, that's just like when Martin Luther King. Oh, that's just like with the Black Panther. This has nothing to do with that. You are illegal. You have no business legally being here. So it's not the same thing. You're not going to get the same outcome. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think the problem is, Red, and you know they can get mad, but I think they too cowardly to go where they came from to shed the necessary blood. See, civil rights was obtained over here through bloodshed. They act like people just went to these courts. No, people paid with their lives. Okay? Black people paid with their lives. There's documented evidence. It wasn't no immigrants, it was black people. Okay? If you want to be liberated, right, and y'all be waving them flags that you be over here waving, right, you got to go to where you came from for that liberation. You can't go to another country and expect that country to liberate you, because all you doing is that the people that's over there in your country, oh, just go to America. It don't matter how corrupt our country is. Just go to America. You see what I'm saying? So now, bro, y'all got to shed blood. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got civil rights. See, you want to come over here and do all that marching where it's safe. You know what I'm saying? But again, for you to be liberated where you from and you start building up your country, you have to be willing to fight the governments in your country. In America, that fight, I mean, we still fight on a daily basis, but that fight was already fought. People have civil rights. People can do things over. That's why they crying right now. Even Red. Even after these World Cup, like the people that's going home from the World Cup, they like, damn, I miss America. The food, the this, the that, the third. You see what I'm saying? They love it over here. But then when you get over here, you want to disrespect the people that made it possible for you to even get over here. And now you sitting up crying because of those same people are like, nah, man, handle your business. And a good portion of people is like, man, go ahead and kick rocks. I mean, if you're gonna be disrespectful, why the hell would we want to see you stay? I mean, that's just what that is, bro. You disrespect us every chance you get. You stab us in the back every chance you get. Out of all the groups of people that's in America, the only people that you have something to say about is black people. So now that we tired of it, oh, this is division. Y'all are like the new clan, all because we said we only gonna worry about ourselves, like every other group does in America, around the world. They only worried about their own group. But guess what? Since we're doing that, that is a problem for literally everybody in the world, which everybody in America, when you look at the people here, there's really everybody in the world because it's all groups that, bruh, there's so many immigrants over here, they even have mafias that's operating within the United States. The small hats got a mafia. The Russians got a mafia. The Chinese got a mafia. All of these people got mafia. They operating within the United States. And these are the same people claiming to be oppressed. And they got whole criminal red. You see what was going on downtown. They had whole drug rings going on down there, bro. They was moving weight from down there. You know what I'm saying? All the southern border, all the guns, all the drugs. See, they want to talk about the drugs that was in our community, but they don't want to talk about who's bringing it through the southern border. They didn't want to talk about that part.
Right.
They don't want to talk about where none of this stuff came from. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to talk about none of the people who made this possible. Well, if we're degenerate, what do you call the people that brought it to our neighborhood? We don't have no gun factories. We don't have no bullet factories. We can't even make a clip. But yet they're flooded in our neighborhoods and we don't want to talk about that. That's just like, you know, see, y'all don't be peeping the game. You can go to a basketball game, football game, they could watch you have a tailgate party, get drunk before the game even start. They could watch you drink for 4 quarters. Yet when you leave the stadium, the responsibility is on you. But if somebody come to your house and drink like that and then leave and then they turn around and murder somebody, now the responsibility is on you, as the homeowner. You get what I'm saying? They got the laws set up to where you're gonna eat all costs. You're gonna eat everything. You see what I'm saying? How do you promote drinking? You know what I'm saying? All of these sports teams, they all promote some kind of beer, some kind of alcohol. Why are they not responsible for some of this stuff? You get what I'm saying? See, the laws is made up for you to take the brunt of everything. And it's like that in politics. Look at these other groups. Look at what they support. They support white supremacy. They vote for white supremacy. You heard them say, anything they do, we go march against. And it ain't just the people in the videos. Look at the comments. It's people that make videos just off the comments that video make. You hear how they can't say, oh, that's just a few. No, it ain't. It's everybody in your chat. It's everybody in your comments. They can have 3,000 comments, bro. All them comments are going to be anti-black. You know what I'm saying? If they go live, the people in their chat are anti-black. Bro, they can't help it. And these are the same groups that's sitting up here talking about where are the black people? We don't have no culture, but you see what happens what was the old man that had the tenderism? What happened to old boy business as soon as the old man bounced? See, he done fell off, right? Ain't no more tenderism. All that money you was getting, you ain't getting that no more. Them Asians, same thing with them Asians. We was the people going in there eating y'all raggedy ass food. Now you done pissed off your customer base. Now you crying. No, we ain't trying to hear it. We already know how the Latinos feel. You heard them say, oh, no, we gonna march in reparation. You heard all of this. So if you Negroes still do not get, like Psalms 83 tells you, bro, you literally do not have no friends. And if you still out here tripping on your brother, then nigga, use a mark. Use a straight sucker, nigga. None of these other groups is coming to your aid. You know what I'm saying? If you still out here, you know, unaliving your brothers and putting down your brothers, nigga, then you helping white supremacy. What's the difference between you and Officer Tap Dance? You know what I'm saying? You just like one of them. If you cats are still out here putting in work on your brothers, to where everybody else got to just sit back and watch you put in work on your own, nigga, you's a sucker, man. You's a straight
It's terrible.
sucker.
Well, we gonna
Red, I mean,
land
I'm
the
saying.
plane. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
Okay,
I'm gonna
well,
let you
yeah,
land,
bro.
Biggie, because I'm gonna close it. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying, bro, we gotta take a stand right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take a stand, bro. I mean, it's that serious. You see, they out here going, bro. Even a 1-year-old baby, because they thought the mother was stealing some diapers. Dude, open fire, bro. Y'all don't see this? Behind some diapers. Latasha Harless got murked behind some a $2 orange juice that she paid for. Cyrus got chased down and murked for nothing. So, bro, I'm telling you, if y'all don't start changing this narrative about how you deal with your own, then, bro, it's really hard.
Let me see. Shout out to Big E, man. You know, Big E was gonna pull up and drop some of that heat, man. Hey man, y'all gotta bless the like button for this content right here, man. Cause you know my boy Big E gonna come through and bring it every single time, man. So listen. This is what we gonna do. Let's play the rest of this clip right here.
No criminal record, no warrants for his arrest at all. What 50,000 people, Isaiah, that have signed this petition in the last 12 hours.
Wow. Incredible. And when you talk about Mr. Araujo's family, have you had a chance to meet with them while you were in Houston? And what are they saying? Obviously, they're devastated. They've lost their provider in the family. They said he was simply going to work, picking up some of his employees, and now he's gone.
Yes, that's right. So I had the opportunity to spend all day with Ronaldo Salgado and Lorenzo Jr. These are, you know, very mature, very accomplished individuals. You know, Lorenzo raised 3 sons. He's sent them through college. They are in a career track. He is a small business owner with no criminal record, no warrants for his arrest at all whatsoever. He was picking up his employees for the day to go work on a construction site in New Caney. And he's been in this country for over 35 years, Isaiah. 35 years with 3 U.S.-born citizen children. And so if this is what this administration is saying, that they're going after hardened criminals, it is not true. It is not true. And what we have seen is an overreach, excessive enforcement, and yet another murder on the hands of DHS and ICE.
When you hear individuals here in this country, they take and examine what you've just said about Mr. Araujo and his accomplishments, being a tax-paying citizen, not legal, but tax-paying here in this country, carrying his weight, and that still doesn't matter to those individuals out there. And they simply say, well, he shouldn't have been here. He's illegal. What do you say to people like that who see life as
in black and white.
Was
Either you're right or you're wrong.
He was on the pathway to citizenship, Isaiah. He was months away. Months away. He had a lawyer. They had been working on this for years. For years. But you're right. It's very sad. What happened yesterday was multifold. Number one, ICE agents were canvassing in a predominantly Latino community, 97% Latino community. Okay, number one. He was racially profiled. Okay, they were looking for dark-skinned, brown-skinned Latino men. There was no warrant out for his arrest. He wasn't speeding, right? This is a construction zone. The asphalt was being lifted. There were cones in the street that were limiting the flow of traffic. And he was targeted because he was Hispanic and his civil rights were violated. And it's very sad because, you know, he may have been undocumented, but he was on a pathway to citizenship and his civil rights and his due process were violated.
And Juan, when you see this happening in America in 2026, do you have to kind of think about it? Is this the America that I have grown up in and that I know and love? What is going on here when you have individuals targeted on the streets and then killed, you know, and then they're...
Well, he was illegal. I'm not saying he should have died because I don't celebrate the death of anybody because he was a father. He had a family, so condolences, right? So I'll never celebrate the death of anyone. But what I'm saying is, how do you have civil rights in a country when you're illegal? You didn't go through the proper channels to get citizenship. You've been over here for 30 plus years.
Telling the public, that being the federal agency, that he weaponized his vehicle trying to come after them, and so they feared for their life and they shot and killed him. But taking a look at the America we're in 2026, do you recognize it?
It's hard to recognize. You know, it's hard to have celebrated the 250th anniversary in a democracy that we know is imperfect, right? Mm-hmm. But now, you know, immigrants are facing an attack unlike we've ever seen in more than 100 years. They're talking about deporting upwards of 10 million immigrants. What would that do to our country? What would that do to our economy? What would that do to our labor markets? This is a small business owner. He had a business for over 20 years, employed hundreds of people. He had several contracts to build multiple homes, which are in dire needs in the Houston area, and his life was taken.
When you have this, and so what's the next move for LULAC? What are you guys planning on doing?
We're going to continue to advocate for the family here. We want an independent investigation. We've met with the Attorney General. We will continue to advocate for the family, and we will continue to support. You know, the Lorenzo Salgado was the sole breadwinner for his family. His wife of over 40 years has no one to provide for her, and she lost her best friend. The family's in shock, and we still don't have a body. We still don't have a body. ICE took away all of his documentation, put him in an ambulance, and the hospital had to receive him as a John Doe. That is just sickening and inhumane.
Wow. Well, Juan Prano, CEO of LULAC, thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored, and we appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Sam.
And of course, we'll continue this conversation after the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching The Factor.
All right, you guys. So listen, man, we're going to wrap this thing up, man. I got another show coming up at 2:30, man. We're going to talk about Ringo Dingo TV and, you know, how his obsession of white men has ruined his credibility and his YouTube career. The man literally destroyed his platform by worshiping and getting on his knees begging for human DNA. I mean, he was on his knees over there begging Charlie Kirk for human DNA, as well as other white T men. I'm talking about Ringo TV. So we're gonna cook Ringo at 2:30. Tap in for the 2:30 show, man. Like I said, homie, I got a whole lot to say about this. Peace, love, and blessings. Giving you game to keep you from stressing. It's your player partner, King Supreme. Make sure that you like the stream. I'll be back at 2:30 with some more content. We're going to cook Dingo. We're getting ready to cook Dingo TV. Let me give a shout out to the Cash Apps, man. We got to get you people back on board. We got to get my people, not you people, my people. Shout out to Ringo TV. Shout out to Ringo TV for giving us this commentary to roast him with. So Dingo, we're coming to roast you. I appreciate the commentary. You make it so easy. All that tap dancing and all that buffooning and shucking and jiving you've been over there doing. Right? Shout out to Lions Dollars for the 10 on the Cash App. Shout out to Tiffany for the 15 on the Cash App. Shout out to Tracy for the 10 on the Cash App. I appreciate you all, man. Shout out to the few people who supported the show. I appreciate you. Get the likes up, and I need you guys to bless the like button. It ain't nothing. King Supreme will be back. This is part 1. I'll be back with a part 2 of this story tomorrow. Now, they said when he went to the hospital as a John Doe, the Mexican immigrant, right? Crazy situation, right? So most definitely we're gonna do part 2 tomorrow. But tap in with me at 2:45 p.m. We're gonna roast Dingo TV. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Peace to everybody. Make sure that you violate that like button. Make sure that you violate that like button. Hit it now. Bring the chopper now. Bring out the chopper now. Imagine demanding rights in Houston, demanding rights in Texas, demanding rights in the United States of America while waving around a Mexican flag. That's crazy. I want justice in America, but I'm going to wave this Mexican flag in your face at the same time. You talk about being disrespectful. Peace, love, and blessings to you all. We're going to cook Dingo TV at 2:45 p.m. Make sure that you guys show up. Hit the like button. Share the content. Dingo, we coming for you, boy. Peace to everybody. I'm gone.